I think you could probably find evidence that, in general, cops are more willing to shoot if the perpetrator is black than white.
What's your basis for saying that? Last year...
Well, look, I know a lot of people would say, look what's going on in Chicago.
I know what they would say.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what the facts are. 965 people were shot by cops last year and killed. 4% of them were white cops shooting unarmed blacks. In Chicago in 2011, 21 people were shot and killed by cops. In 2015, there were 7. In Chicago, which is a third black, a third white, and a third Hispanic, 70% of the homicides are black on black. About 40 per month, almost 500 per year last year in Chicago, and 75% of them are unsolved. Where is the Black Lives Matter on that? The idea that a racist white cop shooting unarmed black people is a peril to black people is BS. It's complete and total BS. And the reason for these so-called activists saying this is the assumption that racism remains a major problem in America. The media, CNN, especially MSNBC, runs down whenever a black cop shoots somebody, and it's some march on Washington. It's ridiculous. Black people, half the homicides in this country are committed by and against black people. Last year there were 14,000 homicides. I'm not talking about suicides. I'm talking about homicides. Half of them were black. 96% of them black on black of that 7,000. Where's the Black Lives Matter people on that?
All lives matter.
Is it a good group or bad?
Yeah, it's a good group, but all lives should matter, though. Not just black, white, Hispanic, Korean, all lives, not just one nationality.
Thank you, buddy.
Black lives have never, ever, ever mattered to the Democrat Party. Black votes always have. They have created systems that we cannot get out of. The welfare system was meant to do what it has done to our families. It has decimated our communities.
I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matters, especially to my.
Do you separate yourself from it?
I don't feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me. If you do, you crazy as you.
And just as a musician, African-American, guy out in Hollywood, all these different things, you know, everyone around me tried to pick my candidate for me. And then told me every time I said I like Trump that I couldn't say it out loud or my career would be over. I'd get kicked out the black community because blacks we're supposed to have a monolithic thought. We can only be Democrats and all.
And there's a way to do things, and I think the issue at hand needs to be addressed internally and before we move on, because from personal experience, you know, you have living in the hood, living in the inner city, you deal with things, you know, you deal with people dying, dealt with a best friend getting killed, and it was 2 35-year-old black men, you know, and wasn't no police officer involved, wasn't anybody else involved, and I didn't hear anybody shouting Black Lives Matter then. And I think that's the point we need to get to, is that we need to deal with our own internal issues before we move forward and start pointing fingers and start attacking other people. We need to solidify ourselves as a people and deal with our issues, because I think as long as we have black on black crime and black, you know, one black man killing another, you know, if Black Lives Matter, then they should matter all the time. You know, you should never let somebody get killed. That's somebody's son, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's friend. So you should always keep that in mind.
Everyone was kind of giving Richard a little slack for the All Lives Matter comment. There's this whole like fringe group that's like, don't say all lives matter, because right now you're forgetting that it's young black men that are being killed, you know? But I don't think, I mean, Richard Sherman is a young black man, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And we've watched young black lives die at the hands of other black men. Yeah. So it's not to say that we don't care about black lives, because we care a whole lot about black lives, because where we come from. These particular two opinions about Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, they're reaching for the same goal. Yeah. To stop killing each other. Yeah. That's the bottom line.
As a dad, you're proud of him standing up and saying that?
I'm proud of everything my son does.
Whereas black men and women are not taking responsibility for that, as they did prior to the Civil Rights Movement. Black people are blaming it on their lack of self-control and self-containment. They're blaming it on white people, while white people are working hard to keep it going.
I do
for
believe
themselves.
that there is a need for Black people to be held more accountable.
Yeah.
But Black Americans, contrary to popular belief, can hold widely diverse and opposing opinions on political issues. Maybe Kanye is a Republican. I mean, he's never referred to himself as such, of course, but he said something about Trump that wasn't severely negative, so he's suddenly the Black Paul Ryan. But even if he is, so what? In fact, a 2012 study by Vincent Hutchins and Hakeem Jefferson using data from the American National Election Studies found that 45% of Black Americans identify as conservatives.
You never heard anything about Donald Trump being racist until he ran for president and won. Before then, everybody was like, oh, he's on WWE, he on different shows. Everybody, they like Donald Trump. As soon as he ran for president, because people don't like the truth.
But it's hard to, when you say that to some people, because they say, oh, there you go with a pull yourself up by the bootstraps thing, and, you know, you're just being respectable. Not everybody can do that.
Well, everybody can. Everybody doesn't. Courage is the key to life itself. There are a lot of people who are born in situations where they say, well, I'll never get out of this. So they won't. I say to people who say, well, I would like to have done so and so and so. So, well, you could have done it. So, well, I couldn't get out of here. Man, the bus runs every day.
Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't
Today?
or cannot? Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that.
The DNC is coming after you guys, you in particular, as a female Black Republican who's successful. Why?
Well, you know, I take away their narrative. I have worked together. I work well with even the Congressional Black Caucus. A lot of them are really good friends of mine. They don't like that. They claim the Nancy Pelosi and the DCCC claim that they like diversity. But if you think on your own, if you are an independent thinker, that's not the diversity they like. If you're a Republican, that's certainly not the diversity that they like. And they're frankly afraid that we're going to bring more people to come along with us. I would be happy to bring more Black women, more minorities to the Republican Party, and that's certainly not something that Nancy Pelosi wants to see happen in Washington.